Alright, y'all. So this is part 2 to Andrew crossing the border. We here, man. I guess he actually about to do it for real in this video.
The experience of trekking through the Mexican borderlands is a surreal one. Everywhere you look, you see free-range cows. Vacas.
I'm gonna leave my cards at the
and
top.
signs asking not to
Go watch the last video if I haven't, man.
There's a ton of trash, but a lot of it's pretty interesting. You see empty cases of beer, diapers full of poo, Venezuelan flags, printed copies of unanswered emails from US Border Patrol, and a delicious half-eaten Snickers bar just for you.
Hay mucha gente de Venezuela que
Aquí hay mucha
He
gente
got
de
that at
todos
his
lados.
pocket. Yeah?
As
Off
we
the
begin
ground.
to walk down a
Control.
large hill, one of the coyotes stops us and tells us some important information.
No es que sea peligroso, simplemente es mucha cautela, porque
mucha cartela.
Para
sí,
que así nadie sabe nada.
no saben nada de nosotros.
They say the cartel controls this particular human smuggling route, and that as
Y'all know better, bro. What is y'all doing? Y'all doing this without telling the cartel nothing in Mexico?
freelancers, they failed to pay the coyote fee, or the cartel tax, which is usually about 20%. And they also didn't tell them we'd be filming. So, in the event that a collector rolls up demanding
probably
money, I
take
have
all
to
that
act
shit.
like we're just a couple of bros on a chill hike.
Okay, está bien.
A couple of
Truly
bros on
seeing
a
no
chill
other
hike.
option, I follow them down the hill and
I
into
guess.
the woods.
Is that a good excuse?
Alright, we're walking through the forest. We're about a mile from the Rio Grande, which obviously is the natural barrier into the state of Texas. So we're gonna follow the homies here. As you can see, there's like a ton of discarded underwear, socks, you know, garbage, empty bottles of water, presumably left behind by previous migrants. It's estimated that just last year alone, roughly 2 million people entered the U.S. this way.
As we
2 million.
continue to walk, I get my first
That's
view
what's
of
going
the
on in
river.
New York and
This
all the
spot,
others.
though, they
All them other little migrant places that's going on. Like, it just cross the border and go. They send them straight to New York. Tough out
say
there
is
right
way
now.
too hot to cross.
It's not concrete jungles
Not
where
because of
dreams are
border
made
patrol,
of.
they say, but because of undercurrents.
That's what
which is
Alicia
the leading
Keys said.
cause of death in the river.
The current can sweep you under that water in just seconds.
Border Patrol agents rescued 2 migrants struggling to stay afloat in the fast-moving water.
Ese, un oso de peluche.
Hey, bro. Shout out to Andrew for doing this, bro. 'Cause me personally, I'm not doing all this saying a lot.
Hay veces cuando un
He trying
familiar
to really
pierde
show us
alguien
that
en el río,
everything.
es normal que guarden eso.
Just left.
Lo que
Yeah, that shit look creepy though. What the hell?
Sí.
How big was that foot? That shit look creepy.
Mucha gente
It's all
sufre,
dusty and shit.
llora demasiado, solo para poder llegar. Pero hay veces que pues, yo me pongo a pensar y que digo que la gente es así pues porque son así. O sea, no sé si me lo puedo explicar. Todos quieren tener un sueño o una vida muy bien hecha, pero
The coyote, like many others, don't understand why migrants would go to such lengths just to get to the US. But his perspective is an informed one. He spent most of his life in a border town, and for a year lived in San Antonio and worked as a dishwasher, where he said he felt alienated.
Yo, Yo, this not funny, but these dishes is just crazy. I know that.
And for a year lived in San Antonio and worked as a
Like, they ain't even like scrub the food off or nothing. They ain't throw away the napkins and they just threw it all in the corner. Like, I guess. Like, what? Nah, I'd be sick too if I was working here. I did dishes. I used to do dishes at one of my jobs. But it was never like this though. Like, they at least would throw the food off, like, or at least throw off the napkins. Like, yo,
dishwasher, where he said he felt alienated, exiled, overworked, and depressed.
he estado encerrado, trabajando encerrado. Es lo único.
But does admit the service wages were much higher. Yet, so was the cost of living. So he was barely able to make any money. This equation is something that very few economic migrants seem to be aware of, which points to a larger issue, which is the widespread proliferation of American dream propaganda in developing nations. Every migrant that I've spoken to,
That old
from
ass
Senegal
commercial.
to Guinea to Guatemala and to Bangladesh, believe without any prior experience or really contemporary information about the problems facing American society,
inflation surges 9%, bro. Y'all see that, bro? Inflation surges 9%. All the old people that be watching them, bro, because I looked at my analytics. I got some people that's like 40, 50. I don't know if it's really true, but like, it's some people that's like 40 and 50 watch me, bro. Back then, y'all had it lucky. Like, y'all think we had it lucky, bro? Back then, y'all had it lucky, bro, for sure. Like, y'all can have one job. Yeah, you could live your life off a regular 9 to 5, bro. You can't do that no more. You literally just can't do that no more. Unless your 9 to 5 is a really good job. But like, you could work at McDonald's, nigga, in 1970 and be cool. But hell,
American society,
not no more.
that America is paradise, heaven on earth, a place of free elections, free press, and unlimited social welfare programs.
I just been swiping for EBD. Go to the bank, get a stack at least. This shit here better than selling peas. I made some rate that I couldn't.
This is Trinidad
But
James.
unfortunately, this is not the case.
The Department of Justice says a rapper who bragged in a music video
He got arrested. They caught him for scamming. That's crazy. They caught him scamming.
about getting rich from an unemployment scam is now facing federal charges.
That's tough.
America is in a bad spot.
You got rich
in a
off the
number of
EDD.
ways, and it seems that most migrants are not.
You got rich
aware.
off the PPP loans. You got rich off the PPP loans.
As I mentioned,
He
about
was
the
trying to finesse.
skyrocketing cost of living yet stagnant minimum wage in every major U.S. city that's eroding the working class in cities like San Francisco, where many
Oh, I just seen this video on this too. What did Andrew do that video? I can't remember, but like I seen something
lifetime
like this
city
too.
natives
Bro.
have been priced out
Yeah,
in
it
the
was
past couple
him.
years.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's impossible to live here. The rent is rising.
Yeah,
Minimum wage is
I
the
seen this
same.
video
No
too,
parking.
man.
If you get a parking ticket, nigga, that's a whole
check it out.
check right there. You need to work
I'm
3
probably-
jobs
I'm
just
probably
to
forget to leave
live
the
in
car
a
right
one
here.
bedroom in Zombieland.
But most migrants seem to be programmed with the opposite vision of America and seem to have been swindled by an aggressive, multi-generational PR campaign, which in my view has totally misled them and left them in the dark on very important information. They're unaware, for example, about the ongoing cold
Damn.
class war in all of America's major cities, or that the majority
Bro, did he just snatch it? What the fuck? He just like what did it? He snatched his window out? What the hell did he just do?
about the ongoing cold
He had something in his back window and he just took it on the road?
class war in all
that's
of America's
nuts.
major cities, or
What
that
the
the
fuck?
majority of U.S. citizens have been strategically divided into politicized consumer groups by the investment firms who control the mainstream media. They've been using the border issue to stoke the flames of an internal culture war between Americans by pulling on liberal heartstrings with migrant sob stories, while simultaneously stoking conservative anger by blaming the global economic crisis on Joe Biden. But both angles are deployed by the same propaganda apparatus whose primary goal was to
So this will really run America right here. This chart right here. Comcast owns all this. Jesus. AT&T owns all that. Am I reading this correct? I said correct. Am I reading this correct? Nah, this is actually crazy.
primary goal was to generate revenue by bringing clicks and engagement to legacy media, which will collapse, but not yet. In the meantime, legacy media's purpose is to distract and divide. Anyways, back to the forest. Me and the coyotes find a gap in the trees, and there she is, the US of A, home to bald eagles, corn dogs, and gangsta rap. Drive-through Starbucks, Roll Tide Rush Weekend, apple pie, and the Island Boys. I also see the barbed wire the newsman has been hollering about for the past couple weeks.
Razor wire remains up along the U.S.-Mexico border even after the Supreme Court ruling allowing federal immigration officials to remove it.
Texas has argued that the razor wire is repelling migrants from crossing into the country illegally.
It appears that President Joe Biden and Texas Governor Greg Abbott have been involved in a vicious dispute about having more or less razor wire right there. Biden wants less and Abbott wants more. But it doesn't matter because the majority of river embankments on the American side have no barbed wire at all. It's a non-issue and a distraction, designed to create controversy from afar.
Ya vamos pa' Texas, ya vamos pa' Texas.
He says this is a perfect...
Hey, Andrew, bro, you gonna have them black SUVs. He gonna have them black SUVs pull up, bro, at his crib, bro. He exposing too much.
place to cross,
He
but he's
exposed
worried
too
it's a
much.
bit too deep.
Y si él mira que está hondo, busca otro lado. Si no está hondo, pues por ahí pasamos los cuatro. Los cuatro agarrados y pasamos.
¿Ustedes van a pasear con nosotros a los Estados Unidos?
This may sound a bit amateur, but I didn't realize up until this point that we were actually gonna cross the river ourselves. I was expecting just like a tour of their route, but obviously they had other plans.
Y luego ahí ya cruzamos para los Estados Unidos.
Sí.
Ah, sí, como $5,000.
God damn it. It was also gonna cost us $5,000 a piece. This...
Bro, what? So this nigga had to pay for this? He thought he was doing all this for free.
Was not discussed, but I wasn't sure what to do.
So, eso es la primera parte.
La primera parte es esta.
Okay.
Y luego necesitamos conseguir alguien que nos levante. Me cuenta es un carro y ya nos sube hasta San Antonio.
Okay.
Pero tenemos que caminar, a de cuenta, hasta Uvalde. Háganse por acá.
At this point, it became quite obvious that I was in far too deep. The coyote told me that after crossing the river, we had to walk from Eagle Pass to Uvalde, Texas, which is over 67 miles on foot. How would this be possible?
Bro, that's like 67 miles on foot. That's like a day walk, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's like a day walk. Think about it. Nah, he definitely ain't too deep.
According to Apple Maps, it said it would take...
Bro, a lot. It literally says a full day, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, a full day walk, bro. Walking for 20 minutes was already like, damn. But a full day?
Over 24 hours. We had no water. Plus, we apparently owed these guys $5,000. Looking back, I would have asked to turn around, but we were in far too deep. And while they're being pretty cool, you never know when a switch could flip or something. Abruptly, the younger coyote asked me to duck down because a border patrol boat was speeding by.
Todavía un monte y después de este monte sigue ya lo americano.
Okay. ¿Quieres vivir en los Estados Unidos o te gustas vivir aquí en México?
Sí, yo quiero vivir en Estados Unidos, pero eso ya va a ser después. Ahorita aquí estoy bien.
Sí, tú tienes 18 años, hay mucho tiempo, o 19.
Sí, 19.
Okay, hay mucho tiempo para
hay mucho tiempo
entrar.
The other coyote asks me to give him the 100 pesos that I'd brought along for emergency purposes. He says someone spotted us and is asking for money. Perhaps naively.
He just capped his ass off. Somebody spotted it. So somebody saw y'all. He walked back to you. Yeah, finessing his shit.
I approached the man to see what's going on. The man who asked us for money is a bit strange. He seems to function as both a tax collector and someone who provides first aid and flotation devices to migrants. Whatever his title was, or who he works for, I don't know, but there was no option but to bring this man along.
Hola, ¿qué pasa? ¿Puedes decir tu nombre y dónde eres?
Me llamo... Soy de aquí de Piedras Negras.
¿Qué haces hoy?
Pues aquí apoyando a la gente que va cruzando, los estamos apoyando, cruzan y a veces no traen su chaleco, no traen protección para el agua, ¿verdad? No traen salvavidas y pues los estamos apoyando, ¿verdad? En eso, para que no vaya a haber un accidente o algo, porque la gente no conoce el río y llega y nada más quiere brincar y cruzan con los niños en los brazos y pues yo también tengo hijos y eso es lo que...
As we learned in our previous episode, the Rio Grande is 4 feet and 9 inches deep, and 58% of Mexicans reported as not being able to swim. So many children and older grandmothers who try and cross the river into America but are below 4'9" end up drowning.
3 migrants have died near Shelby Park in Eagle Pass. A woman and 2 children drowned in the Rio Grande River.
4 migrants, including an infant, have drowned in Eagle Pass.
Lo que muchas veces no miran ellos, ¿verdad? O sea que pueden tropezar o algo y en lo que se tropiezan el niño puede agarrar agua o algo. Y sí, pues a veces no les ayudamos, pero les avisamos, ¿verdad? Es peligroso, aparentemente se mira tranquilo, pero sí hay lugares donde está hondo y puedes ir caminando y de repente pisas y te hundes y poquita corriente que haya en ese pedazo te lleva.
Sí, ¿qué tipo de trabajo haces?
Creo yo, anda entre los 7,000 y...
10 bands a person, bro. You got a family of 5, you paying 50 bands, bro. That's a whole. Come on, bro.
Y $10,000 entrar a los estados.
Somebody making like
me queda cerca del río y
$30 an hour.
A ver en qué puedo ayudar y a veces me dan algo de dinero, ¿verdad? Y
Sí, gracias mi amigo para la entrevista.
¿Qué?
Sí.
Chile, ¿tú quién eres, compa? Tú, es que no...
Despite his good Samaritan framing, we had no option but to pay him for his services. Still, apparently this is a bad place to cross. Our coyote points to the water to show me something.
Pues hay varias ocasiones que hay muertos ahí en las pelotas naranjas. Yo le digo las pelotas de la muerte, ¿verdad? Porque cada vez hay muertos ahí.
He points to the orange buoys in the river, installed by the state of Texas to deter migrants.
A disturbing discovery at the border. Security officials found a body trapped in the buoys recently placed in the river across from Eagle Pass.
The coyote says that on multiple occasions he's seen dead bodies trapped in the buoys, so we'll need to keep walking. But stops to tell me.
So people was trying to go through them. Did they not understand that that's the point of them? Like, I'm not trying to be like a dickhead, but like, I literally put those there to block y'all off. You know, you should just maybe go around it. You know, but I'm not trying to be
Border
like
Patrol boat from
dickhead. I'm just saying, like,
us using infrared heat
you
sensing
got stuck
out
in
of
it.
nowhere, the first aid collector man starts hauling ass, and my coyote follows him. Naturally, I run after them for about 10 minutes until we finally get back to a new spot in the forest.
What the fuck?
Once again, they bring up money.
So kind of what they were saying was that right now the standard market rate for an average border crossing with a coyote is between $3,000 and $5,000.
I'm not sure how they expected me to pay them, but I wasn't worried about that. My primary concern was getting back into America. Once there, I'm sure we could easily arrange some kind of wire transfer or something. But I didn't feel that a remote forest in Mexico was the place to negotiate, so I kept going.
All right, so we just made it on a maybe a 1.5 mile hike through the woods, and now we're here on the banks of the Rio Grande.
I hear the sound of a machete striking a tree behind me in the distance, so I turn around.
What the hell?
¿Está bien? Okay. ¿Tú conoces? Okay. All right, guy with a machete just came out of nowhere. I guess it's kind of normal to want to chop down sticks and shit out here. But yeah, definitely not the most chill thing to see right now.
My coyotes assure me that all is well. He was just making sure that we paid the first aid man. And after a final plunge deep into the woods, we found ourselves at the perfect embankment. There were no orange buoys in the river here, and very limited razor wire on the American side. So they said we'd cross here.
All right, so as you guys can see, we're at the end of the journey here. Right here behind me is the Rio Grande. So over yonder is the United States.
Much like the initial entry point into the forest, migrants had left behind a ton of garbage here.
We got hella garbage here. We got a children's coloring book right here. I hope they're doing well, but I must say they did not do a very good job. But it's all good. Like
Imagine roasting a kid
There was also
coloring.
a bunch of dudes there just hanging out.
We got like a Mexican Ernest Hemingway type figure down here.
Just fishing and wishing people the best of luck.
Be careful. You have a good trip. Be careful.
I'm not sure why, but Ernesto's words gave me the confidence boost that I needed, and the coyotes said it was go time.
Nigga said 2 words. Be careful. Nah, that's like Uncle Iroh, son. This Uncle Iroh.
But Ernesto's words.
He the coyote Uncle Iroh, and he giving him advice. Sitting there sipping some tea, nigga.
It gave me the confidence boost that I needed, and the coyotes said it was go time.
I don't know why he just reminded me of Uncle Iroh for some reason.
See?
After stripping down to my boxers and taking off my shoes, the reality of the risk that we're about to take begins to set in. At this point, I wonder if this whole thing was worth it. After all, many migrants have died on this exact journey.
In 2019 alone, 109 people lost their lives in the Rio Grande.
Yeah, right. I commend you for doing this, cause me, like I said earlier, I would have went home. Like, we would have got to that bank and be like, oh, we about to cross for real? You're like, oh yeah. All right, let's turn back around, my boys. We can walk all the way back to the wherever they was at the beginning, like the first video with that one rapper
And last
dude.
month, the body of a young girl was pulled from
Yeah, we
that
go all
body
the
of
way back
water
over there.
after an
Yeah,
unsuccessful
I'm not
attempt
crossing
to
it.
cross.
I see a picture of a young boy on the ground and begin to wonder, did he make it across into America for a better life? There's no way to know. There was also no time to ask questions. The first coyote was already in the water, and it was my turn. Step by step, I inch myself down. And after a few small strides, I reached the waterline. From there was only one way to go. In. As I inched through the rushing green water, I began to feel the undertow, the rapid current beneath the river's surface I'd been warned about. And so my coyote asks that we link arms to avoid the rushing currents.
Saludo para piedras.
I see an entanglement of razor wire that lets me know we're almost home, and Larry Susan's close behind me. Thank God, the experience is finally almost over.
Hey, he made it seem quick.
I breathe a sigh.
He actually made it seem quick and easy though. Like, did it only take him like 2 minutes to get across? I ain't seen too bad for
I have relief as my feet touch American soil. I was finally home, in the land of the free, where the bald eagle flies. Sure, we had 76 miles to go until Uvalde, but at least I made it across the river, and away from Mexico for now. Suddenly, my coyote ducked for cover and told us to be quiet.
There's patrol over there.
Manos arriba.
That's tough.
Ven pa acá usted. Speak English. Hands up. Speak English. Yeah. Get up. Let me see your hands. Got any guns on you?
Nah. He actually got caught by Border Patrol? That's crazy. Nah.
No, sir. Face away from me.
We're journalists.
Usted, manos arriba.
Nah, that's actually nuts.
You too. You speak English?
Yeah.
Stand up.
I couldn't believe it. Border Patrol had been watching us the entire time since we entered the forest.
Yeah, I can clearly hear him swimming.
And set up an ambush on the American side to apprehend us.
You two, face away from me. Walk backwards.
Nah, they got
here.
dropped off.
Hey, ven pa acá, wey.
Immediately, my coyotes jumped back into the water, swimming back to Mexico.
Come back over here. Okay. Get over here.
This left us alone in Border Patrol custody.
There was one guy here, he obviously ran back, and then the two USCs right there.
Yeah, I guess USC is a US citizen. Can he get in trouble for this? I bet he probably could. Shit, it's crazy. Bro didn't even turn the camera off.
After crossing the river, Andrew and his cameraman were arrested by United States Border Patrol for illegal entry into the United States. They did not realize this, but what they did was a federal felony offense called failure to report.
Federal felony.
After being arrested, they were driven to a migrant processing center and placed under detainee status and held for several days, much of which was spent in solitary confinement. Thankfully, Channel 5 personnel were able to recover their memory cards, which is how you were able to see this footage. But our team also took things a step further while Andrew was detained. Using details he gave to us over the jail phone, we hired a video game designer to create a graphic recreation of the things he saw and heard on the inside. And we compiled these animations and voiceovers into a documentary. If you'd like to see it, go to our Patreon. www.patreon.
This is actually crazy, bro. This nigga got arrested for real. That's what I was saying, bro. Me personally, I would have turned my ass around, bro. As soon as I got to that little riverbank, bro, it'd have been over with for me because that's doing way too much. That's doing way too much. And you already a citizen, bro. Like, you crossing for fun. Like, this shit not no game. But anyways, bro, I'm out, bro. I'm actually down. This is crazy. I'm gonna see y'all later, bro.